Ambassador Zixtal read the message from the Galactic Council for the third time. His four eyes blinked in sequence as he tried to understand the meaning behind the words. The directive was clear but seemed completely insane. Warning: do not involve humans in military conflicts. Previous incidents have resulted in complete elimination of opposing forces. Use extreme caution when considering human military assistance. Zixtal leaned back in his floating chair and laughed. The sound came out as a series of clicks and whistles that filled his office aboard the Hegemony flagship. Humans? Those small, pink creatures who had barely learned to travel between stars? The same species that used metal tubes to shoot tiny pieces of metal at each other? He pulled up the human files on his display screen. The data showed that humans had only made contact with galactic civilization 200 years ago. Their technology was primitive compared to most species. They had no energy shields, no plasma weapons, and their ships were slow and clunky. Most importantly, there were so few of them. The entire human population was less than 20 billion across just a handful of worlds. The Hegemony Coalition controlled over 3,000 star systems, with a population of nearly 8 trillion beings. They had fought wars against the mighty Krex Empire, and won. They had defeated the Silicon Hive Mind in the Great Metal War, and now the Council was telling them to be afraid of humans? Zixtal's communication device buzzed. The face of General Mordak appeared on the screen. The old warrior's scarred features looked worried. "Ambassador, we have a problem in the Kepler 442 system," Mordak said. "The Orion Syndicate has moved 3 battle fleets into our mining operations. They claim the system belongs to them now." Zixtal nodded. The Orion Syndicate was a collection of pirates and criminals led by various warlords. They were dangerous, but manageable. The Hegemony had dealt with them before. "How many ships do they have?" Zixtal asked. "Intelligence reports show approximately 200 vessels. Mix of cruisers, destroyers, and fighter craft. Led by warlord Vex Shah. Personally." Zixtal's mandibles clicked together as he thought. Vex Shah was known for being ruthless, but smart. She would not attack unless she thought she could win. The mining operations in Kepler 442 were important. They produced rare metals needed for ship construction. "We can send our 5th Fleet to deal with them," Zixtal said. "Admiral Krektar should be able to handle the situation." "The 5th Fleet is already engaged in the Outer Rim conflicts," Mordak replied. "Our 7th and 9th fleets are the only ones available, but they are both under strength. We might need additional support." Zixtal looked at the Council directive still glowing on his screen. An idea began to form in his mind. A way to test whether the Council's warning about humans was real or just political nonsense. "What about hiring mercenaries?" he asked. "Expensive, but possible. The Thorian battle groups are available, but they charge premium rates." "What about human mercenaries?" General Mordak's face showed confusion. "Humans? Ambassador, with respect, humans have no real military experience in space combat. They have only been part of galactic society for 2 centuries. "Exactly," Zixtal said with what passed for a smile among his species. "They should be cheap, and we can use them as support troops. If they perform poorly, we lose nothing important. If they perform well, we save money on more expensive mercenaries." Mordak still looked doubtful. "What human groups are even available for hire?" Zixtal accessed the mercenary databases. Several human companies were listed, but most were small operations. One name caught his attention: Murphy's Marauders. The file showed they were a company of about 300 humans with their own transport ship. Their leader was Captain Sarah Murphy, a former officer in something called the Earth Defense Force. "This Murphy's Marauders group looks suitable," Zixtal said. "Contact them and offer a contract. Standard rates for auxiliary support. They can guard the outer mining stations while our real forces handle the main fighting." "Are you certain about this, Ambassador?" Zixtal thought about the Council directive again. If humans were really as dangerous as the warning suggested, using them against pirates would be perfect. If they were not, then he would have cheap support troops and proof that the Council was being overly cautious. "Make the offer, General." Tell them they will be supporting hegemony forces against pirate raiders. Standard combat pay, hazard bonuses, and salvage rights to any enemy ships they disable. The call ended, and Zixtal began reviewing intelligence reports about the Orion Syndicate. Vex Shah commanded a force of experienced raiders. Her ships were well armed and her crews were veterans of dozens of battles. But they were still just pirates. They followed the standard rules of galactic warfare, which meant formal challenges, scheduled battles, and minimal damage to civilian targets. 3 hours later, General Mordak contacted him again. The humans accepted our offer, Mordak reported. Captain Murphy seemed very interested in the salvage rights. She said her people were ready to deploy immediately. Excellent. Where are they now? Their ship just entered the Kepler 442 system. Captain Murphy requested permission to inspect the mining stations and asked for detailed intelligence on enemy capabilities. Zixtal was surprised. Most mercenary groups just wanted to know where to go and who to shoot. Asking for intelligence reports suggested the humans might actually take the job seriously. Send them whatever they need, he ordered. And General, keep our forces ready to take over if the humans prove inadequate. Understood, Ambassador. As Zixtal ended the call, he felt satisfied with his decision. The mining operations would be protected, the Orion Syndicate would be dealt with, and he would finally have an answer about whether humans were really dangerous or just another minor species playing at being warriors. He had no idea that within 72 hours, he would be sending an urgent message to the Galactic Council, confirming that their warning about humans had been completely accurate. In fact, if anything, the Council had not been nearly strong enough in their language. The Orion Syndicate was about to learn why the galaxy feared a species that had turned warfare into an exact science. Captain Sarah Murphy stood on the bridge of the transport ship, Eternal Vigilance, and studied the tactical display. The Kepler 442 system spread out before her in 3 dimensions, showing mining stations, asteroid fields, and the positions of both friendly and enemy forces. Intel package from our employers, reported Lieutenant Chen, her communications officer. Orion Syndicate has 200 ships incoming, mix of cruisers, destroyers, and fighters. Standard pirate tactics expected. Murphy nodded and pulled up the enemy commander's file. Warlord Vex Shah had a long record of successful raids. She was known for following traditional galactic warfare protocols, which meant formal challenges before battles, rules about targeting civilians, and accepting surrenders when offered. "What's our assignment?" asked Sergeant Rodriguez, the senior ground force commander. "Guard duty on mining station Theta 7, Murphy replied. "It's the farthest out from the main cluster. Our alien friends expect us to call for help when the pirates show up, then retreat to a safe distance." The bridge crew exchanged glances. They had all served together in the Earth Defense Force before forming this mercenary company. They knew Murphy well enough to recognize the tone in her voice. "I take it we're not planning to follow that script?" Chen asked. Murphy smiled. "The contract says we're responsible for protecting the station. It doesn't say how we're supposed to do it." 3 days later, the Orion Syndicate fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. Vex Shah, a tall reptilian creature with silver scales and intelligent yellow eyes, stood on the bridge of her flagship reviewing the tactical situation. "Hegemony forces are positioned around the main mining cluster," reported her tactical officer. "Standard defensive formation. No surprises there. What about the outer stations? Each one has a small garrison. Station Theta 7 appears to be guarded by the human mercenaries our spies reported." Vex Shah's eyes narrowed. She had heard of humans but never fought them personally. From what she knew, they were a young species with limited space combat experience. "Send Commander Thexal with a destroyer squadron to handle the outer stations," she ordered. "Standard protocol. Demand surrender. Disable their defenses, then move to support the main assault." Commander Thexal was a veteran raider who had captured dozens of stations using established procedures. He approached Station Theta 7 with 3 destroyers and began broadcasting on standard frequencies. "Attention mining station Theta 7. This is Commander Thexal of the Orion Syndicate. You are ordered to surrender immediately. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Compliance will ensure the safety of all personnel. The response that came back was not what he expected. Station Theta 7 to approaching vessels. This is Captain Murphy of Murphy's Marauders. Your surrender demand is noted and rejected. We advise you to withdraw immediately. Thexol was confused. In galactic warfare, small garrisons always surrendered when faced with overwhelming force. It was considered sensible and honorable. Captain Murphy, you have 300 personnel against 3 destroyers with 2,000 crew members. Surrender is your only reasonable option. Commander Thexol, you have 3 ships approaching a fortified position, defended by humans who are really looking forward to this fight. Withdrawal is your only reasonable option. Thexol decided the humans were either brave or stupid. Either way, they needed to be taught a lesson. All ships. Begin standard bombardment sequence. Target their weapon systems and power generators. The 3 destroyers moved into attack formation and began firing plasma cannons at the station's defenses. This was normal procedure. Disable the target's ability to fight back, then demand surrender again. But the station's response was not normal at all. Instead of returning fire with their defensive weapons, the humans did something unexpected. The station's massive mining laser, designed for cutting through asteroids, suddenly swiveled toward the attacking ships. The beam that struck Thexol's destroyer was not meant for combat, but it cut through the ship's shields and armor like they were made of paper. Evasive action, Thexol shouted, but it was too late. The mining laser tracked his ship with precision that should have been impossible for civilian equipment. The second destroyer tried to help by targeting the laser, but suddenly found itself under attack from a completely different direction. The station's ore transport drones had been modified somehow. They swarmed the ship like angry insects. Their simple cargo manipulators somehow turned into weapons that tore at the destroyer's hull. The third destroyer captain tried to communicate with the station. This is not standard warfare protocol. You are using civilian equipment as weapons. Captain Murphy's voice came back over the radio, and Thexol could hear humans laughing in the background. Commander, there's no rule that says we have to fight fair. There's only a rule that says we have to win. That was when the real surprise came. The station suddenly launched dozens of small objects toward the pirate ships. Thexol's sensors identified them as standard cargo containers, the kind used to transport mining supplies. Why are they throwing garbage at us? His tactical officer asked. The answer came when the containers reached optimal distance and exploded. But they were not normal explosives. Each container released a cloud of metallic dust and debris that spread rapidly through space. When the pirate ships flew through these clouds, their sensors were blinded and their engines began to clog with particles. It's chaff, Thexol realized. They turned cargo containers into chaff dispensers, but the humans were not done. While the destroyers struggled with sensor problems and engine issues, the station launched another wave of modified mining drones. These had been equipped with simple chemical rockets, the kind used for asteroid prospecting. They flew straight at the pirate ships and detonated against their hulls. The explosions were small by military standards, but they were perfectly placed. The humans had studied the destroyer designs and targeted weak points in the armor. Life support systems failed. Power conduits were severed. Communication arrays went offline. Within 20 minutes, all 3 destroyers were drifting helplessly. Their crews were alive, but their ships were completely disabled. Captain Murphy's voice came over the emergency frequency. Commander Thexol, this is Murphy. Do you surrender? Thexol looked around his damaged bridge. His proud destroyer was now a floating piece of junk. His crew was working frantically to restore basic life support. The humans had defeated 3 military ships using mining equipment and cargo containers. How? He asked. Commander, humans have been fighting each other for thousands of years. We've learned that every tool can be a weapon if you think about it the right way. Your people fight by the rules. We fight to win. Back on the Syndicate flagship, Warlord Vexsha stared at the tactical display in disbelief. 3 destroyers had been defeated by a mining station defended by 300 humans using civilian equipment. Get me intelligence files on human military history, she ordered. Ma'am, humans have only been in space for 2 centuries, not their space history. Vex Shah said grimly. Their history of war on their home planet. I think we need to understand what we're really fighting. On mining station Theta 7, Captain Murphy turned to her crew. Good work, everyone. Set up patrols to watch for more visitors. And someone start working on those ideas for turning the ore refineries into kinetic weapons. I have a feeling we're going to need them. The Battle of Station Theta 7 was over. But it was just the beginning of the Orion Syndicate's education about why the Galactic Council had issued warnings about involving humans in warfare. Warlord Vex Shah stood in her private command chamber, reading reports about human history that her intelligence officers had gathered. The files painted a picture that made her scales itch with unease. 30,000 years of continuous warfare, she muttered to herself. 2 global conflicts involving their entire planet. Weapons that could destroy all life on their world. How did the galaxy not know about this? Her aide, a nervous young officer named Zilk, approached carefully. Ma'am, the files suggest that humans presented themselves as peaceful when they made first contact. They emphasized their exploration and scientific achievements. Clever, Vex Shah admitted. Make yourself look harmless while you study your potential enemies. She turned to face Zilk. What is the status of our forces? 3 destroyers lost at Station Theta 7. No casualties, but the ships will need complete rebuilds. The crews are shaken. Vex Shah was not surprised. Losing 3 military vessels to a mining station would shake anyone's confidence. Order the Void Hunters to prepare for deployment. Zilk's eyes widened. The Void Hunters were the Syndicate's elite forces, veterans of dozens of campaigns. They were expensive to deploy and usually reserved for the most important targets. Ma'am, is that necessary for one mining station? Those humans made us look like fools. Vex Shah snapped. Word is already spreading through the fleet. If we do not crush them decisively, our entire reputation will suffer. Meanwhile, aboard the Hegemony flagship, Ambassador Zixtal was having his own crisis of confidence. General Mordak had just finished briefing him on the Station Theta 7 engagement. They used mining equipment as weapons? Zixtal asked for the 3rd time. According to our sensors, yes. The humans modified civilian systems and turned them into highly effective combat tools. Our tactical analysts are still trying to understand how they achieved such precision with equipment not designed for warfare. Zixtal looked at the casualty reports. 0 human losses. 3 enemy ships disabled. It should have been impossible. What are the humans requesting for their next phase of operations? Mordak consulted his datapad. Captain Murphy has submitted a list of supplies she says will help with station defense. The items include industrial explosives, metalworking tools, communications equipment, and, this is odd, musical instruments. Musical instruments? Specifically, items they call bagpipes and drums. They say these are for morale purposes. Zixtal had a bad feeling about this, but he approved the supply request anyway. The humans had proven more capable than expected, and supporting them seemed wiser than questioning their methods. Back on Station Theta 7, Captain Murphy was addressing her assembled forces in the main cargo bay. 300 humans in combat gear listened as she outlined their situation. Intelligence reports show the Syndicate is sending their best people this time, Murphy said. The Void Hunters are experienced, well-equipped, and they're not going to make the same mistakes as the last group. Sergeant Rodriguez raised his hand. Captain, what's our approach this time? Murphy smiled, and several crew members grinned back. They recognized that expression. This time, we're going to introduce our new friends to the concept of psychological warfare. The preparations that followed would have puzzled any non-human observer. The humans began modifying more mining equipment, but they also did stranger things. They set up speakers throughout the station and began broadcasting what they called war songs on all frequencies. The music was loud, aggressive, and featured lyrics about fighting and dying in battle. They also began sending strange messages to the approaching Syndicate forces. Instead of standard military communications, the humans broadcast things like, "Welcome to Hell," and "We've been waiting for you." Most disturbing to alien observers was the humans' apparent enjoyment of the situation. While most species found combat stressful and unpleasant, the humans seemed genuinely excited about the prospect of fighting elite enemy forces. When the Void Hunters arrived 3 days later, they came in force. 5 heavy cruisers, 10 destroyers, and 2 assault carriers filled with elite troops. Commander Zalresh, leader of the Void Hunters, expected to crush the station quickly and restore the Syndicate's reputation. "Begin standard assault protocol," he ordered. "Demand surrender. Then demonstrate our superiority." But the humans had prepared surprises. As soon as the Syndicate ships came within range, Station Theta 7 began broadcasting on every frequency simultaneously. The alien crews found their communications jammed by something called Ride of the Valkyries, played at maximum volume, followed by human voices singing about storming the beach and fixing bayonets. "What is this noise?" Zalresh demanded. "Sir, it appears to be human war music," his communications officer replied, struggling to filter out the interference. "There are dozens of different songs playing at once." Before Zalresh could respond, the station began its attack. But this time, the humans had prepared much more than modified mining equipment. The first wave of attack came from space itself. The humans had somehow turned the asteroid field around the station into a weapon. Using precisely placed explosives, they caused dozens of asteroids to change course and fly directly at the Syndicate ships. "Evasive action," Zalresh ordered, but the asteroids kept coming. The humans had calculated trajectories perfectly, turning random space rocks into guided missiles. The second wave was even more disturbing. The humans launched cargo pods that opened in space to release clouds of metallic confetti. When Syndicate fighters flew through these clouds, their sensors were overwhelmed by false targets and reflective chaff. But the most unsettling part was the human communications. While dodging asteroids and dealing with sensor problems, the Syndicate crews had to listen to human voices taunting them over the radio. "Come on, boys. We're just getting started. Is that all you've got? My grandmother could fight better than this. When we're done with you, there won't be enough left to fill a cargo container." Commander Zalresh had fought dozens of battles, but he had never encountered an enemy that seemed to enjoy combat this much. Most species fought out of duty or necessity. These humans fought like it was entertainment. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "the humans appear to be coordinating their attacks through their music broadcasts. Each song corresponds to a different type of assault." Zalresh listened carefully and realized it was true. When the humans played something called the Imperial March, asteroid attacks began. When they switched to War Pigs, the confetti clouds were launched. The music was not just psychological warfare. It was a command and control system disguised as entertainment. How do they coordinate so precisely using music? He wondered aloud. "Sir, our analysts believe the humans have memorized their tactical plans and associated them with specific musical pieces. It is unusual." As the battle continued, Zalresh began to understand why the first attack force had been defeated. The humans did not fight like any other species in the galaxy. They combined practical engineering skills with psychological tactics and genuine enthusiasm for combat. When his flagship's shields failed under a barrage of modified mining charges fired from what used to be ore transport systems, Zalresh made a decision that would shock the entire Orion Syndicate. "All ships, withdraw to safe distance," he ordered. "Sir, we outnumber them 20 to 1. Numbers mean nothing if we cannot effectively engage the enemy," Zalresh replied grimly. "These humans are not fighting a normal battle. They have turned this entire engagement into something else entirely." As the Void Hunters retreated, the human music changed to something called "We Are the Champions." The message was clear. Warlord Vexia received Zalresh's report with growing anger and fear. Her best forces had been defeated by humans using music and mining equipment. The reputation of the Orion Syndicate was in ruins. "Prepare the full fleet," she ordered. "Every ship, every warrior. We end this now." She had no idea that by committing her entire force, She was about to give the humans exactly what they had been hoping for all along. Captain Sarah Murphy stood before a wall of screens showing the incoming Orion Syndicate fleet. Over 400 ships were approaching the system in perfect formation. It was an impressive sight, the kind of force that could conquer entire star systems. "Ma'am," reported Lieutenant Chen, "we're detecting the full Syndicate battle fleet. 200 cruisers, 100 destroyers, 50 assault carriers, and various support vessels. Total crew complement estimated at over 2 million. Murphy nodded calmly. "Outstanding. Send a message to Ambassador Zixtal. Tell him we strongly recommend that all hegemony forces withdraw to at least 50 light minutes from this system. Ma'am, should we request reinforcements?" Murphy smiled. "Chen, we've been fighting with kid gloves so far, playing by peacekeeping rules. But Warlord Vexia just made this personal by bringing her entire fleet against a single station. Time to show these people what humans are really capable of." She turned to address the 300 members of Murphy's Marauders assembled in the cargo bay. "Listen up, people. The enemy has decided to commit everything they have. That means we don't need to worry about proportional response anymore. Rules of engagement are now unrestricted." A cheer went up from the assembled humans. Several crew members were actually grinning with excitement. "Sergeant Rodriguez, activate all contingency plans. Lieutenant Chen, begin broadcasting. Package 7. Engineering. I want every system we've prepared online. In 30 minutes. Yes, ma'am," came the unified response. Aboard the Hegemony flagship, Ambassador Zixtal received Murphy's withdrawal recommendation with confusion. "General Mordak, why would the humans want us to retreat? They are about to face overwhelming odds." Mordak looked at his tactical displays. "Sir, I'm not sure, but our sensors are detecting unusual activity throughout the asteroid field. The humans appear to have been very busy during the past week." "What kind of activity?" "Unknown, sir. But Ambassador, I recommend we follow their advice. If we have learned anything about humans, it is that they do not make suggestions lightly." Zixtal agreed, and the hegemony forces pulled back to what they thought was a safe distance. Warlord Vexia stood on the bridge of her massive flagship, the Eternal Darkness, as her fleet approached Station Theta 7. This time, there would be no mistakes, no surprises. She would crush the humans with overwhelming force and restore the Syndicate's reputation. "All ships, prepare for simultaneous bombardment," she ordered. "Target every structure on that station. I want nothing left." But as her fleet moved into attack position, something unexpected happened. The humans began broadcasting again, but this time it was not music. It was a single human voice speaking in perfect galactic standard. "Warlord Vexia, this is Captain Murphy. I want to make sure you understand what is about to happen." Vexia was surprised that the human was contacting her directly. "Captain Murphy, you are facing the full might of the Orion Syndicate. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick." "Warlord, I appreciate the offer, but I need to explain something to you. Up until now, my people have been following what we call peacekeeping rules. We've been trying not to hurt anyone unnecessarily. But you just brought your entire fleet against a single human outpost. That changes everything." "What are you talking about?" "Warlord, humans have been at war for over 30,000 years. We've fought with sticks and stones, swords and spears, gunpowder and bullets, and finally with weapons that could destroy entire planets. We've learned that the best way to end a war is to make your enemy completely unable to fight ever again." Vexia felt a chill run down her spine. "You are trying to frighten me." "No, Warlord. I'm trying to educate you. You see, humans don't really like war, but we're very, very good at it. And when someone forces us to fight, we fight to win permanently." That was when Vexia noticed that her tactical displays were showing impossible readings. The entire asteroid field around Station Theta 7 was moving. Hundreds of asteroids were changing course simultaneously, all heading directly for her fleet. "How is this possible?" she demanded. "We've spent the past week placing charges and guidance systems on every large asteroid in this system. Murphy's voice continued. What you're seeing is the largest kinetic bombardment in galactic history, but the asteroids were just the beginning. As Vex Shah's ships tried to avoid the incoming rocks, they discovered that the humans had prepared other surprises. Hidden among the asteroids were thousands of small devices that activated as the fleet approached. "Sir," her tactical officer reported in panic, "we're detecting massive electromagnetic pulse events throughout the fleet formation. Our shields are fluctuating." "Those are what we call EMP mines," Murphy explained helpfully. "We make them from spare parts and civilian electronics. They're designed to overload your ship systems." The Syndicate fleet was now trying to fight on multiple fronts. Asteroids were smashing into ships that couldn't maneuver properly due to system failures. But the humans were not done. Station Theta-7 began launching what appeared to be standard cargo containers. But these containers opened to reveal something that made Vex Shah's blood freeze. Each container held dozens of small, intelligent missiles, weapons that should not have existed in a mining station. "Where did you get military-grade missiles?" she demanded. "We didn't," Murphy replied. "We made them." Turns out that if you combine mining explosives with navigation computers and add some homemade guidance systems, you can build very effective weapons. We've been manufacturing these for the past week. The battle became a massacre. The humans had turned the entire system into a weapons platform. Every asteroid, every piece of space debris, every abandoned mining probe had been converted into a tool of war. The Syndicate fleet found itself fighting not just a station, but an entire star system that had been weaponized. But the most devastating attack came last. Captain Murphy had saved the worst for the end. "Warlord, I want you to watch this carefully," Murphy said. "This is what humans call total war." The station launched a single, large object toward the center of the Syndicate formation. Vex's sensors identified it as a modified mining platform, the kind used for deep asteroid excavation. "What is that supposed to do?" she asked. "It's a fusion bomb," Murphy replied casually. "We stripped the containment systems from our reactor and turned it into a weapon. The explosion should disable most of your remaining ships without actually killing anyone. We're not monsters, after all." When the improvised nuclear weapon detonated, the electromagnetic pulse and radiation burst, knocked out every electronic system in the Syndicate fleet. 400 ships found themselves drifting helplessly in space, their crews alive but their vessels completely dead. In less than 2 hours, the entire Orion Syndicate battle fleet had been neutralized by 300 humans using improvised weapons and mining equipment. Captain Murphy's voice came over the emergency frequencies one last time. "Warlord Vex Shah, this is Murphy. Do you surrender?" Sitting in the dark on her powerless flagship, surrounded by the wreckage of her fleet, Vex Shah finally understood why the Galactic Council had issued warnings about humans. "We surrender," she whispered. "Excellent. We'll be sending rescue ships to collect your people shortly. Oh, and Warlord, next time someone warns you about humans, you might want to listen." From his position 50 light minutes away, Ambassador Zixtal watched the tactical display with growing horror. An entire pirate fleet, one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy, had been destroyed by humans who were supposed to be simple guards for a mining station. "General," he said quietly, "send a message to the Galactic Council immediately." "What should it say, sir?" "Tell them the humans have just demonstrated why their warning was completely inadequate. These creatures don't just win battles, they eliminate the very possibility of future conflict." Zixtal stared at the display showing hundreds of disabled Syndicate ships drifting in space. "They don't wage war, General. They end it." 3 days after the battle, Ambassador Zixtal stood in the observation deck of his flagship, looking at the wreckage of what had once been the most feared pirate fleet in the galaxy. Hundreds of Syndicate ships drifted powerless through space while human rescue vessels moved among them, providing life support and medical aid to the defeated crews. Captain Murphy's transport ship docked with the Hegemony flagship, and Zixtal found himself genuinely nervous about meeting the human commander face to face. When she entered his office, he was surprised by how normal she appeared. She was a small creature, barely reaching his chest in height, with short brown hair and calm brown eyes. She did not look like someone who had just destroyed an entire fleet. "Ambassador," Murphy said with a polite nod. "Thank you for agreeing to meet with me, Captain Murphy," Zixtal replied carefully. "I must admit, your methods were impressive." Murphy sat down in the chair he offered and looked directly at him. "Ambassador, I need to explain something to you. I think there's been a misunderstanding about what my people are capable of. I believe I understand your capabilities quite well now." "Do you?" Murphy asked. "Ambassador, everything we did in this system was accomplished with mining equipment, spare parts, and basic materials. We had no military weapons, no warships, no advanced technology, just 300 humans with standard civilian equipment." Zixtal felt his mandibles click nervously. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that what you witnessed was not human military power. It was human engineering skills applied to a combat situation. We turned a mining station into a weapons platform because that's what humans do. We solve problems with whatever tools are available." "I mean," Murphy leaned forward slightly. "Ambassador, would you like to know what actual human military forces are capable of?" The question sent a chill through Zixtal's body. "Are you threatening me?" "No," Murphy said firmly. "I'm trying to help you understand why the Galactic Council issued that warning. Let me tell you about human history." What followed was the most disturbing briefing Zixtal had ever received. Murphy spoke in calm, matter-of-fact tones about things that made his species' worst nightmares seem like pleasant dreams. "For most of our history, humans fought with primitive weapons," Murphy began. "Swords, spears, bows, and arrows. Even with such simple tools, we managed to kill millions of each other. Then we discovered gunpowder and began using explosives as weapons." She pulled out a small device that projected historical images. "This is called the Battle of Gettysburg. 50,000 human casualties in 3 days, using weapons that were advanced for the time but primitive by galactic standards." The images showed humans charging into cannon fire, fighting with bayonets, dying in massive numbers but continuing to fight. "Then we developed more advanced weapons," Murphy continued. "Automatic firearms, artillery, poison gas, aircraft, tanks. We fought 2 global wars that involved every major population center on our planet." New images appeared. Zixtal saw cities reduced to rubble, aircraft dropping explosives on civilian targets, massive armies clashing across entire continents. The Second Global War lasted 6 years and resulted in over 70 million deaths. We developed weapons that could destroy entire cities in a single blast. We used them twice. Zixtal stared at an image of a mushroom cloud rising over what had once been a human city. "Your people used weapons of mass destruction against each other?" "We did. And then we built thousands more of those weapons, each one hundreds of times more powerful than the first ones. For decades, 2 human nations pointed enough nuclear weapons at each other to destroy our entire planet several times over." The images showed massive missiles, underground bunkers, submarines carrying world-ending arsenals. "But Ambassador, that's not the important part," Murphy said. "The important part is what we learned from all of this." "What did you learn?" "We learned that wars are problems to be solved permanently. Half measures just lead to more wars later. When humans fight, we don't fight to defeat our enemies. We fight to make them completely unable to threaten anyone ever again." Murphy stood up and moved to the window, looking out at the disabled Syndicate ships. "Every human military unit studies something we call military history. We analyze thousands of battles, strategies, and conflicts spanning 30,000 years of warfare. We learn from every victory and every defeat." She turned back to Zixtal. "Ambassador, your species has been part of galactic civilization for millions of years, but you've never experienced total war. You fight by rules that limit casualties and preserve infrastructure. You consider war a temporary inconvenience to be resolved through negotiations. That is civilized behavior. It's also why you keep having the same conflicts over and over again," Murphy replied. "The Orion Syndicate has been raiding, shipping, and mining operations for decades. You defeat them. They retreat, rebuild, and attack again. It's a cycle that never ends. Zixtal realized she was right. The Syndicate had been a problem for years, sometimes defeated, but never eliminated. Humans approach war differently, Murphy continued. When someone attacks us, we don't just defend ourselves. We eliminate the threat completely and permanently. We destroy their ability to attack anyone else, ever. But you could have killed all of those Syndicate crews. Why didn't you? Murphy smiled, and for the first time, Zixtal saw something warm in her expression. Because we're not monsters, Ambassador. We don't enjoy killing, but we are very good at it when necessary. She activated her device again, showing images of human rescue ships helping Syndicate survivors. Every Syndicate crew member will be given medical care and safe transport to a neutral world. They'll be released with a warning never to engage in piracy again. And if they ignore that warning, they won't, Murphy said simply. Word about what happened here will spread throughout the criminal networks. The Orion Syndicate will cease to exist as an organization. No one will join them. No one will follow their leaders. And no one will fund their operations. No one will fund their operations. Zixtal began to understand. You destroyed their reputation, not just their ships. Exactly. We didn't just defeat them militarily, we eliminated them as a viable organization. Any pirate group that wants to operate in this sector will have to consider whether their targets might have human protection. Murphy collected her projection device and stood to leave. Ambassador, the Galactic Council's warning wasn't about human aggression. It was about human effectiveness. When you hire humans for military support, you're not just getting soldiers, you're getting problem solvers who will eliminate threats permanently. As she reached the door, she turned back. There's one more thing you should know. Murphy's Marauders is not a military unit. We're civilians with basic training who left Earth to make money as mercenaries. Actual human military forces are considerably more capable. After Murphy left, Zixtal sat alone in his office for a long time, thinking about everything he had learned. Finally, he activated his communication system and composed a message to the Galactic Council. To the honorable members of the Galactic Council, he began, I am writing to confirm the accuracy of your recent directive regarding human involvement in military conflicts. He paused, trying to find the right words. The directive, as currently written, is inadequate. It should read, Warning. Do not involve humans in military conflicts unless you are prepared to completely eliminate all opposition forces. Human military doctrine focuses on permanent resolution of conflicts through total victory. He thought about the disabled Syndicate fleet, the terrified pirate crews, and Murphy's calm explanation of human warfare concepts. The humans do not wage war as other species understand it. They treat armed conflict as an engineering problem to be solved through the complete destruction of enemy capabilities. Their methods are highly effective and result in absolute victory. Zixtal looked out at the stars and finished his message. Recommendation. Human military assistance should only be requested when the complete and permanent elimination of enemy forces is the desired outcome. Use extreme caution when contracting human mercenaries, as they will solve problems in ways that may exceed expectations. He sent the message and leaned back in his chair. The Kepler 442 system was now completely peaceful. The mining operations could resume without fear of pirate attacks. The Orion Syndicate would never threaten anyone again. The humans had done exactly what they were hired to do. They had solved the problem permanently, and that, Zixtal realized, was exactly why the galaxy should be very, very careful about when and how they involved humans in their conflicts.